Hey, welcome back to another video. If this is your first time, welcome. My name is Vera. Nice to meet you. Anyway, this is my title states. In today's video, we're going to do another story time about how the sugar daddy guys had no sugar. Basically, he had no sugar. In fact, he didn't even have ketchup. It was just salt. Just salt. This story time is a gold digging gone wrong. And I'm not even a gold digger. I don't dig gold. I am not a gold digger. But it happened. So I'm here to tell you. So without saying too much, let's get right into the story.
Take it slow, bring it back, let them know, bring it down to the flow.
So once upon a time, you guys, I used to go out a lot, okay? And by the way, oh my god, you guys, wait, what do you think about my wig? My kids sister absolutely hate it. We had a whole debate about it. She said I look like a grandma. What do you think? How do I look? Okay, let me know in the comment section because I think I look cute. You know, like in the spirit of trying new things, I decided to like, you know, rock it like this. What do you think? Let me know. Yes, I made it like this on purpose. Anyway, once upon a time, I was this girl who used to go out a lot. Okay, you guys. So before COVID happened, I used to have this, like a couple of years ago, I used to have this ritual where once in a while I'll go to the movies alone. Once in a while I'll just go out and eat. It was my own personal time with myself. So there was this particular day that I went out to eat for food. Now here's the funny part, you guys. I don't like food that much. Okay, I'm one of those people that eat food once in a while. Like once in a while, I'll just be like, okay, let's go have food. Okay, and that day was one of those times. I think I had just moved to a new place. So basically, I go to this restaurant and I order my fufu, and as usual, I'm there chilling and eating my thing, and I'm just like, and back then, I was single as F. Now, another thing you should know about me is that, you guys, if I'm going out or when I'm going out alone, I always put my earplugs in my ears. Like, always. When I say always, I'm not even exaggerating. It's always like that, okay? And now that I think about it, it's just silly. Like, how are you going to be single and be going around with earpiece? Are you mad? Are you alright? Is everything okay upstairs? And this was me, you guys. This is still me sometimes, even though I'm no longer single. But back then, it was just like a stable thing. If I'm going out, I gotta put my earplugs on. And if you ask me, I'll be like, oh, I want a boyfriend, I'm single. Wow, clap for yourself. But anyway, it was one of those days. So while I was eating, I put my like earplugs on and like earplugs. I never know which one to use. Earpiece, right? It's earpiece. Okay, so I put my earpiece in, whatever. And I was listening to music as I was eating. So I remember when I was walking in, I saw this car. It was a Nigerian registered car, but like it was a big car. And by the way, I don't know cars too, so it was a big car. But I saw this car like coming, and I saw them stop, and like they were looking at me. And me, you guys, I can be very whatever. Like you can be looking at me and I'll look somewhere because naturally I'm shy. I don't like wahala. I don't like that. If you're in a car, you're looking at me, I'll look somewhere because it's not even me. So it was just one of those things. The person was looking at me, and I looked somewhere else, and I walked to the restaurant and ate. So fast forward, this person with a squad, I think, comes into the restaurant. Now because I didn't want to like have any conversation with anyone, and I'm just antisocial sometimes. Okay, I just went into my little corner and I started eating my fufu. So this man walks in with this other guy, and then they ordered their food, and I could see that they were looking at me, and it was making me uncomfortable. So like after a while, I just like kind of turned a bit, and I was concentrating on my phone and eating. So while I was eating, I remember like one of them walked up to me and he was like, hey, what's your name? Blah, blah, blah. My boss wants to talk to you. He was like, my chairman wants to talk to you.
Pardon?
I looked at him, I looked at his chairman, I looked at him, I looked at his chairman. I was like, what's wrong with your chairman's legs? Like, is there a problem? And that is something else that I do not like. That is something else I cannot stand. When a man sends someone else to do his dirty job, like, why are you sending someone to come talk to me? Unless you are Obama, okay? Unless you're unless you are like, you know, you understand, unless you are someone, you're out there, like you know, like you're the president of somewhere, okay? Or like you're just like a big person who doesn't want to be seen out in the public or whatever, then you cannot do that, okay? You can't. You understand? And it is more insulting when the person is just like right there and then they send someone else. Are you normal?
Are you normal?
Are you normal? Anyway, when he said that, I was like, what's wrong with your chairman's legs? Can't you come and speak to me? Whatever. And I was like, oh, it's not like that. Just when I'm like, man, I'm not moving. You see me? It's only me that brought myself out. You want me to go and sit somewhere? Or you want me to get up and go because he's your chairman? I'm like. So anyway, I wasn't rude, but I was like, nah, I'm not going. I was like, if his chairman wants to speak to me, he should come speak to me. So fast forward, this man comes over and he's like, hey, what's your name? Blah, blah. How are you? I'm like, oh, I'm good. And he's like, oh, so you came out here alone? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, wow. So as soon as he opened his mouth, like even though the car registration thing was Nigerian, like I didn't pay attention to it. As soon as he opened his mouth, I realized he was Nigerian. He had an accent. He goes like, oh my god, like wow. So you just like got up and brought yourself out to eat. A Nigerian girl will not do that. First of all, that's a lie, man. I have like a couple of Nigerian, like I know a couple of Nigerian people. I know this girl Ada, for instance, and Ada is one of those girls that will literally just take herself out for no reason. If there are people who are now getting used to the idea of going out, I think it's even Ghanaian girls, because most Ghanaian girls, no offense to us, I love you guys, but before, most Ghanaian girls would not even go out alone. Like they always had to like go out with, you know, someone. I understand. So all this rubbish about you knowing Ghanaian girls would never, and Nigerian girls would never do that, I was like, man,
Why?
stop lying, man. You lying.
Why the fuck you lying?
Why you always lying? But I didn't say anything. So this one goes on and on and on about how girls would never do that, and all the Nigerian girls would never do that, and how he's like really impressed with me coming up. And then he goes like, oh, I shouldn't worry, he's not like trying to, you know, ruin me and all those things. He's just like, he just likes the fact that I'm out here eating alone, so he just wants to be a friend. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. After he spoke to me, he went back to his table. So fast forward, like while I'm eating, I think I was almost done, and I called the waiter to like come take the bill, and the waiter is like, oh no, he has paid. And I'm like, what? Okay, oh, okay. Because that day, if I'm being honest, I had like bought a lot of meat and it was like expensive. I'm not trying to say that I was, the fact that he paid, like I would have paid for it anyway, but there's some good days that you just like free stuff, and that day was good. And given the fact that this man had also said he was not interested in me, I was like, okay, if you're not interested in me too, you know, that kind of thing. He didn't say it that way, but you get the drift. So after that, he comes back and then he's like, oh, can he have my number, whatever. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I gave him my number. I didn't like his vibe, but I was like, whatever. I just gave my number. Just the stupid things people do. Sometimes, like you guys, I don't care what someone has done for you. If you don't want to leave a number to someone, don't do it. Not giving him my number would have saved me so much trouble. But me. Anyway, so after that, this man kept texting me, like you guys, for like I think a couple of weeks. He kept texting me. First he was like, hey, what's up, how you doing, whatever. He claimed he lived in Trasacco, so it was like, oh yeah, I live in Trasacco, you should come visit me one day. And I'm like, first of all, that's a turn off, man. Why am I coming to visit you? I don't have a house. I think I don't have a house. So he goes like, oh yeah, I have a place in Trasacco, and it's like this, it's like that, and you should come with your girls. You can come with your girls anytime you want and swim. If you don't trust me, you can come with whatever. I don't care what. I'm not coming with a new friend. So, what is stopping you from using my friend and I for whatever you want to use us for? Anyway, so I don't go to strangers' house. That's what I'm trying to say. So I was like, no, I'm not coming. So this man kept like going for weeks. Like he would ask me out, and I always say no, I'm busy, and also on and so. So after a while, he became very naggy. Like he was nagging. He was like, oh, why are you always dodging me? Each time I say you should come, you're always running away, whatever. So this particular day that he was talking to me, you guys, one other thing I realized that turned me off was the fact that he bragged a lot. Because I remember he was saying things like, oh, he's working with an oil company and he has money, and then I remember him saying that he's neighbors with Davido, and that Chioma is his goddaughter, and that they always like come in there and visit him and stuff like that. And I'm just like, oh my god,
Oh my God! Wow!
first of all, if it's true, I tend to think it's a bit weird that you're just like casually telling a stranger about that. Okay, but okay. So fast forward, this man kept going on, and the more he did those things, the more it turned me off. I also remember that when we first met, he was like, oh yeah, he doesn't know a lot of people in Ghana, and that he just wants to be friends and like, you know, hang out and whatever. And then later on, I remember there was another time that this man was talking to him. He was like, oh yeah, I know another Samir who lives in Nima. I know another Samir who lives in Nima, and the way this girl stop on it, I'm like, hey! Go for it. I thought you said you don't know anybody in Ghana. He said just go here. And I was like, oh yeah, he has been to Ghana before, but like he just didn't make friends. The same man is not telling me about another Samira that he knows and someone else. And you know, like people who talk, they tend to like say a lot of things without even realizing it, and yeah, I'll always listen. So fast forward, there was this particular day that I think, I'm not even sure if I went for a shoot or something, but I came back and I still had my makeup on. My makeup was looking flawless. It was one of those days that I didn't want to go, like I didn't want to go, I wasn't ready to go to bed, and I didn't know what I was gonna do, right? So I was just there, and then this man started texting me and was like, why are you always dodging me? Why are you always like running away from me? Like I mean no harm. I'm like really harmless. I'm one of the most harmless people you would ever meet, and I don't know why you've been avoiding me, whatever. I'm just like, so he went on and on. I'm just like, you know what, let me just go meet this man. Yeah, it was at this moment that I knew I fucked up. So to cut a long story short, I went to meet this man at this place. Now first of all, you guys, the place this man wanted us to meet is a place I do not like. It's a place that I have been to. Before that I had been to twice. Once with a friend and once alone, and I really hated it because I realized that it was one of those places where they only like pay attention to the man, or they only pay attention to you when you are with another man. Does it make sense? The service was extremely slow. Food was just meh, but like it was just off for me, so I didn't like the place at all. So when this man invited me there first, I was like, why this place? And then he was like, oh yeah, it is one of the places he knows, and if I want to go somewhere else I can let him know and then we'll go. But I was like, okay, you know what, it's fine, because this place was actually very close to my house, and I figured that if I went out and then like I wasn't feeling the vibe, it would just be easier to just, you know, take a Uber back to the house. I didn't want to like go further away, and if I didn't like it, I'll be stranded. Like I'll have to like sit in a Uber upset for like a long time and all those things. So I was just like, you know what, it's fine, let's just go there. I get to this place and this man starts talking and he starts bragging. Oh my god, you guys, he's talking about this, he's talking about that, he's talking about that deal and this deal and whatever. And he goes like, have you ever been to Nigeria? I want to invite you, you would enjoy, I would host you. And then he talks about the Davido thing, and Davido and I are tight, and he always comes to the house, and he goes like, I live where and where. Honestly, I don't know where Davido lives. I don't know if he lives in Lekki or whatever, but like this man was just going on and on and on and on and on. And you guys, after a while I was so exhausted. I was just like, oh my god, I can't do this, I can't do this. After sitting there for like, I wasn't up to 30 minutes, I was like, you know what, like I have to go back home because I'm really tired. I had like a very long day and all those things. And he goes like, oh, and oh my god, when I got there, this man, so another thing I forgot to tell you guys was that this man actually had a pot belly, right? But he didn't look that old. I think he was like just like probably in his late 30s, or early 40s, I'm not sure. But he had a big tummy. Does it make sense? So it made him look weird. Now when I got there, this man was in a tight t-shirt. Another turn off of mine. I don't like when men don't dress accordingly. You understand? This man was in a tight t-shirt, and it made his stomach like even come out more. Like, sorry, but I was embarrassed, kinda, cause like, you know, I'm a babe. But anyway, after a while I was just like, oh, like I'm going home. He goes like, oh, I thought you were gonna stay long. I thought like from here we're just gonna go to a club and have fun. And I'm like,
Pardon?
excuse me? You said you wanted to see me. The thing was dinner, like I'm here. And besides, even if you want to go to a club or somewhere else with someone, shouldn't you give them a heads up? First of all, I wasn't dressed for a club. I had no intention of going to a club, even though it was a weekend. I had just met you, and the vibe there, Crampon, was not encouraging. You want me to go to a club with you? Are you okay? You guys, when I talk about this man brags, I'm not even joking, I'm not even exaggerating. The man was a talker, like he talks. So I was like, no, I'm good, I'm not going to a club. And he was like, oh, I dressed ready for the club. And then he showed me his dream, which was a white shirt and a white t-shirt, and I don't know what he was wearing now, but yeah, I think it was jeans. And he was like with sneakers, and he goes like, yeah, like I'm dressed like this for it and all those things. And then I'm like, nah. So after that he goes like, okay, then if you want to go, then let me give you something for transportation. And I'm like, oh no, I'm good. And he goes like, oh yeah, like I really want to, whatever. And he goes like, I keep saying no to him, whatever. And I'm like, okay, fine. So weird enough, this man had no money. He had no money on him. So he goes like, I should just give him a second. So he calls someone, and then you know how sometimes when someone is making a phone call, you can actually hear what the other person is saying because it's like too loud. That was how it was. So he called someone else, and then when he was calling the person, he didn't tell me he was calling the person for money. I heard him say, like, speak pitch, and he was like, hey, can you send me this amount of money? Like he said it in like an ordering, like he was ordering the person, like it was an order. When he said it, the person was like, but you, even the whatever amount of money I gave, you've not paid back, you want me to give you another money. That was what the person said. And then he was like, oh, come on now, what are you talking about? Nah, this one, you know, so I would think give you. It was like he was begging the person, but like I could literally hear the person's response, but he was actually making it look like the person owed him money and the person had to pay. So I tapped him and I'm like, hey, like I'm late, like I have to go. After a while, like he hung up because the person was refusing to give him the money. And I was like, yo, I have to go. And he was like, oh, apart from the transportation he wants to give me, he actually needs the money. Like he doesn't have cash on himself, and he said his card is whatever. You guys,
It was all a lie.
calm. So he goes like, he was hoping that I would have like a mobile money wallet so that the person will send the money into it and then I can withdraw it for him and stuff like that. I'm like, okay. I could literally, you guys, I swear to God, I could literally hear him begging the man for money. So the friend was like, no, and then he's like, oh, you should save him. And another thing I don't understand is that if you're going to beg for money, shouldn't you like at least move away and beg for money? But this man was trying to prove something to me that completely backfired, that it was like just disgusting. So eventually he manages to get this guy, and I think the guy agreed to like send him, yes, maximum 700 Ghana cedis. I'm not sure. It was between 500 cedis and 700 cedis. It wasn't that much, like it wasn't even up to 1,000. And you guys, for the type of car he was driving, first of all, for the way he was talking and stuff like that, he shouldn't have been begging for 500 Ghana cedis in the first place. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, this man was obviously trying to prove to me that he's a big person, he's a big man, telling me about how he's gonna take me to we should go on a vacation and stuff like that. Like, do you understand? Like, this was someone who was acting big. So I was expecting him to have big money. Anyway, he goes like, oh, I should give you my wallet, and then I gave him my wallet, and then like they sent it was 500 cedis. Between 500 and 600, maximum 700. And I was like, oh yeah, they've sent it. And he goes like, let's go and find a place and withdraw. I just need something small to have on myself. Before he said, I was like, no, I want to go home and I don't want to go further away from this place. So this man goes like, no, it's not like that. So first of all, we went closer to my place, and then I remember he said, oh, don't worry, I'll drop you off home after that. Like, you don't have to worry about anything. I just need something small on me. So we started driving around looking for more money place, you guys. We drove and drove and drove. There was no one money vendor. So at a point I was like, you know what, this is like stressful and I don't want to. Let me just like transfer the money back to whoever, or you can find someone else's wallet and I'll transfer it because I'm really, really tired. Because you guys, this man could talk. And he goes like, oh, no, we'll find one very soon. Don't worry, I'll drive you. It doesn't matter where you are, I'll drive you home, whatever. Eventually, this man got down, went to like a tilapia joint or something like that and begged them to like change the money for him so that he'll give them something small. So I think they changed it for him and then he gave them like 50 cedis or 10 cedis, I'm not sure. When he was done, he folded like 100 cedis into my hand.
And it didn't help.
And this will make me feel like I'm great and inspired, okay? You guys. Another thing I should add is that like I'm not a gold digger. I don't go into things thinking of what I'm gonna benefit from. Like, it's not like when it comes to those things, especially back then, I was just like not that kind of person, right? So I didn't go there because I was hoping to achieve anything of that sort. But like when you talk big, people will expect big things. So this man folds 100 cedis into my hand. Was it 100 cedis or less? I think it was less. I think it was less, I'm not sure. Whatever he gave me definitely pissed me off, because first of all, this man made it look like he just wanted like something small out of the money, and secondly, he literally begged me to stay that long just to put whatever he kept in my hand in my hand. But that wasn't even the only thing that pissed me off. When he gave me that, like, he folded that thing and gave me my hand. He's like, oh, please take taxi and then go home. And I'm like, I thought you said you dropped me off. And I didn't even want him to drop me off to my house because this man was not someone I wanted in my life or whatever. But because he had promised, I thought he would at least like take me somewhere close to the house and I would continue. And it was getting late, you guys. We searched like for more than an hour looking for more money vendor. That's how bad it was. So this man goes like, oh no, you know it's getting late and I have to get to the club, and you know, like my petrol from he said my petrol from, you know, I'm now closer to the place, so taking you back and coming back, you know, go for it. I cried for petrol. So that already pissed me off, and this man folds like 70 cedis or 100 cedis into my hand, and oh my god, like, you guys, I just like lost it. Like, I was upset. At first I said no, but then I thought about it and I'm like, wait, what? Like, You mean you just came out, wasted your own money, roamed around here, wasted whatever? So I took it out of anger. I took the money. Yeah, I took it. I don't know why. I don't think I should have taken it, but I took it. I remember getting home, taking off my makeup and taking a shower, but I was boiling, like I was upset. And I kept blaming myself that why did I even go there? Why did I even go there? So eventually this man texted me, he's like, hey, you missed out a lot. When I got to the club, I bought a table and then we popped bottles. And so we cook club, you bet 300 Ghana, 400 Ghana now, they call 400 Ghana, pop bottles. A papa champagne at a table. What twist? Bruh. Anyway, this man sent me a message that, oh yeah, he balled and whatever, you guys. I was so upset that I blocked him. And that was how my sugar daddy experience ended. It was you. Okay? This man did not have, he didn't have it. This one was typical gold digging gone wrong. And I ain't even a gold digger. That's the thing. I'm not. That is how it all went. Anyway, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know if you've ever like met someone who pretended to be someone they are not, and how did it go? I'm really curious. Okay, share your stories with me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It's absolutely free. And I'll see you in my next video. Until next time, I love you guys so much, and bye.
Switch it up.